today, just minutes before coming here, I was hearing a recording of Srila Prabhupada. He was speaking from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in Mayapur town. Specifically, Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodado Gododa Ye Pushpavanto Chitro Sando Tamonado. That Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu have appeared like the sun and the moon simultaneously on the horizon of Godadesh to dispel the darkness of ignorance, which is the cause of all suffering. Srila Prabhupada was offering heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to all the devotees who had come to Mayapur Dham. He said some have traveled 10,000 or more miles to be here. And Srila Prabhupada said, some have spent lakhs of rupees to be here. He said in those days, he said, $1 is equal to 8 rupees. He was trying to, at that time, explain how valuable a dollar was. And Srila Prabhupada was saying, and he's talking to each and every one of you. Because of your love for Krishna, or your willingness to love Krishna, you've taken so much efforts to come here. In the Krishna book, in the particular story where Akrura is driving his chariot from Mathura to Vrindavan, he's meditating with great anticipation on meeting Krishna and Balaram. Even though he was sent by Kamsa to bring them to Mathura for the purpose of killing them. Such an inconceivable mission. But Akrura understood the heart of Krishna and Balaram. And even though his master Kamsa had such an evil intent, Akrura understood that it is my most blessed opportunity of life. I will see Krishna and Balaram, and I will surrender to them. And others may not understand my mission, but they will understand that I'm only coming according to their will. But when he was on his way to Vrindavan and he saw the footprints of Krishna and Balaram in the dust, he came off his chariot and wept tears of ecstatic gratitude. and covered his head with the dust of the feet of Krishna Balaram. And Srila Prabhupada describes when we go to a holy place, it's not possible to enter into the spirit and the mercy of a holy place simply by buying a ticket. It's not a train or a plane or a boat or a car that brings us here. It's our eagerness to surrender. Our great anticipation to be among devotees, to hear and chant the glories of the Lord, and to please the Lord through our service. Srila Prabhupada was seeing that in all the assembled devotees. Even from various places of India, coming to Mayapur is not an easy journey. Somehow or other, Krishna has made obstacles. But we have come. And for many of you, to be among 10 or 12,000 devotees, that's even more difficult. Crowds, maybe lines. But these obstacles are actually blessings, because with the sincerity of our heart and with the gratitude of our very souls, we see what an opportunity we have. Srila Prabhupada would quote Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Do not try to see Krishna, but try to please Krishna through our service. So Krishna is happy to see us. And the holy dham, the holy place, is none different than Krishna. It's a manifestation of Krishna's personality. Balaram himself expands himself as the holy dham of Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani is Vrindavan Eshwari. She is all pervading in the spirit of her love in Vrindavan. And Radha and Krishna, in their most intimate feature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has descended to Sri Navadvip Mayapur. And thus, as His Holiness Jaipatak Swami Maharaj was describing yesterday, it is none different than Vrindavan. Of all the Vaikunthas, or the planets in the spiritual world, beyond the all-pervading light of Brahman, beyond the entire influence of material existence, Vrindavan is the Madhurya Dham, most intimate place of the sweetest, eternal, loving exchanges. And Navadvip is Audarya Dham. All the sweetness of Vrindavan is eternally manifested in Navadvip. Yet, it is accessible. It is opening the gates and welcoming even the most fallen, unqualified souls. To enter into the spirit of the mercy of Navadvip is based on our will to please Krishna. to please the Panchatattva, Radha Madhav, our gurus and all of our beloved acharyas. Through our eagerness to hear, eagerness to chant, to remember, to worship, to pray, and to serve. Throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana, devotional service is portrayed in difficult circumstances. Because in this material world there will always be obstacles. There will always be excuses. Why to postpone my sincere surrender to another day? Every moment is precious. Prahlad Maharaj told his friends, Komara Achare Pragyo, that now is the time. We do not know what tomorrow will bring. The anticipation to come to Mayapur and the anticipation to serve, to purify our hearts, to please the Vaishnavas, our gurus, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. It is the ultimate wealth and the greatest benediction. This opportunity. When Srila Prabhupada was looking out at the assembled devotees, he was feeling so much happiness, gratitude, and appreciation. We read about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. When they were preaching, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his South Indian tour, this was very much exhibited. And Nityananda Prabhu, when he was with Sri Haridas Thakur here in Navadvip, they would go door to door, shop to shop, person to person, and plead with them, please worship Krishna. Chant Krishna's holy names. Krishna's your real wealth, your mother, your father. Krishna's our life and soul. And if anyone reciprocated by sincerely taking the name of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda would embrace that person and offer such heartfelt gratitude because they were receiving what they have given their life to give. And how our beloved Srila Prabhupada took this spirit as his heart and soul to show his love for Krishna, his intimate, ecstatic, pure love for Krishna, by sharing it with us. And how deeply grateful he was to anyone who would receive it. With this realization, we can not only understand our good fortune, even in the face of so many situations that challenge us around, but we can also learn to appreciate each other. Bhakti is to please Krishna. I may not like someone, but my spiritual advancement is not going to be based on whether I like you or not. My spiritual advancement is more built upon Krishna. Srila Prabhupada loves this person. Srila Prabhupada is grateful for this person. And then we actually come into a state of mind where there can be real Vaishnava relationships. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are so inconceivable. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes, and Vrindavan Das Thakur also, if Ananta Shesha, who has thousands of mouths, were to continuously glorify Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, if Ganesh, who is the scribe of the Vedic literatures, were to write for yugas, they could not explain the pastimes that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform in a single day. How many things can somebody do in 24 hours? For us, we can have a diary and write down what we did at this time. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is achintya, he's inconceivable. Nitya Lila, somewhere in some universe in creation, Lord Chaitanya is performing all of his pastimes. So we have come to Mayapur Dham, and we actually only have a few days. And we do want to give time for devotees to have kirtan. And we have the very, very special blessing of Srila Prabhupada in the form of His Holiness Chowpatty Swami Maharaj coming to speak to us each evening. So I'll try to speak a few words. We concluded last night where Sri Advaitacharya and all the Vaishnavas who were assembled here in Navadvip were crying, chanting the holy names, performing worship, praying for Krishna to descend, to bestow His infinite sweet mercy upon the very unfortunate conditioned souls within the Kali Yuga. Jagannath Mishra had that beautiful vision where the effulgence and the light of the spiritual abode entered his heart. And he witnessed that spiritual abode transferred to the heart and the womb of Sachi Devi. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through this pure spiritual lila or pastime, entered into his mother's womb. Sachi Devi was emanating so much light and happiness. She was seeing demigods in the sky offering prayers to the child in her womb. Nine months passed. 10 months. 11. 12. 13 months she was pregnant. Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra consulted Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, Sachi Mata's father, who was actually Gargamuni in his previous, in the spiritual world, and a great seer of the truth, an astrologer. And he calculated this is an extraordinary child who was waiting for the most auspicious time to make his appearance. In the month of Phalgun, it was the full moon. In Krishna Lila, on this Phalgun Purnima, it is holy. The wonderful pastime where Radha and gopis have a battle with Krishna and the gopas with brilliant natural powders made out of dried flower petals, herbs and minerals. Very, very fragrant. And they have gold and silver syringes with pure Yamuna water mixed with various colors. These are their weapons. And they're giving each other sweets as weapons to conquer the others, to conquer their opposing party with their love. And it's quite an enthusiastic battle. In the material world, we fight to win so that we can be the champions. But in the spiritual world, in the festival or the war of holy, it's a battle of offering our love and being conquered by another's love. And if you speak to the residents of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani's side usually always wins. Love conquers the beloved. Krishna's greatest victory is the happiness of being conquered by the affection of his devotee. And Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, who wants to experience the happiness that Sri Radha is feeling when she realizes his love. Srimati Radharani is conquered by Krishna's love, and the love she feels when she experiences Krishna's love expands her love and happiness so much that it conquers Krishna. So on this day of holy and beautiful celebration of Radha and Krishna's Lila of Braj, on this full moon, Lord Chaitanya appeared. On that night, he also wanted to begin his pastimes with his compassionate mission of inaugurating the Harinam Sankirtan movement. There was a full eclipse of the moon. And traditionally, during eclipse, some consider it very inauspicious. So they go to Mother Ganga and they chant the names of Hari. Even people who are worshiping demigods for materialistic persons, even people who are against devotees, even materialistic people in every ways, it is tradition. During an eclipse, you go to the river and you loudly chant the names of Krishna. Many people were living in Navadvip. There were hundreds and thousands, countless people in the Ganges, all loudly crying out, Hari Hari. And even Yavanas and people of other faiths and Muslims, when they saw everyone chanting Hari Hari, they were overwhelmed by it. Whether they had faith or no faith, they were swept by the waves of the Ganga of Harinam Sankirtan, and they all started crying out, Hari Hari. Some were doing it taking shelter of the Lord, the devotees. Others were doing it just for some auspicious intervention within auspiciousness. Some were doing it out of laughing or joking or making fun. But there was, in all 10 directions, nothing could be heard except the names Hari Hari. When Srivas Thakur and the other devotees, when they saw this, they were so happy. They were having such an ecstatic kirtan. The entire atmosphere, Lord Chaitanya surcharged the entire atmosphere with his mercy. Everything became auspicious. The constellations in the sky suddenly became supremely auspicious. All the trees were blooming fragrant flowers. The birds, in their own ways, they were singing the glories of the Lord. Hari Hari. And the demigods were showering flowers. Such a festival. Srivas Thakur said to the devotees, may this eclipse last forever. In this festival of all incredible, inconceivable festivals, where the names of Krishna were being chanted and everyone was feeling an inconceivable happiness in their heart. And the devotees felt the presence of Krishna. Advaita Acharya was in Shantipur at the time with Haridas Thakur, and seeing everyone chanting and feeling the presence of the Lord like they never felt before. They were dancing ecstatically. This is a wonderful lesson. Sri Advaitacharya is the leader of the highest level of Brahmins and Vaishnavas. Great scholar. And Haridas Thakur is from a family of Yavanas, who were considered by ordinary society as an outcast. And in those days, the caste system had great influence on the public. But Advaitacharya, he honored and worshipped Haridas Thakur publicly. And together, Haridas Thakur was chanting 300,000 names of Krishna to bring Krishna down and to this material world, and Advaitacharya was doing his puja of offering tulsi leaves, Ganga water to Shalagram Shila, crying out Krishna's names. And together, the unity, the respect, the love that they showed one another in their work, in their devotional service, drew Krishna to descend to this material world. So while everyone's chanting, and Kaviraj Goswami describes when the spotless, pure golden moon of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is about to appear, the moon in the sky that has limited effulgence and spots could not show his face, so he was covered by Rahu, and there was eclipse. And in this beautiful setting of a festival that the world has never seen, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as the son of Sachi and Jagannath Mishra. When he appeared, instantly, he was smiling. Has anyone ever heard of such a birth? Mothers, when your child was first born, were they smiling? He was smiling beautifully. The first moment of his appearance in this world, tiny little baby infant. He charmed the hearts of everyone. His little eyes were like fully bloomed lotus flowers. His nose like a little sesame flower. His face like a beautiful effulgent golden moon. His little limbs, his arms extended below his knees. He was all attractive. Some of the ladies, when they saw the little child, he looks just like Krishna with a golden complexion. So they began to call him Gaur Hari. And in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared within this world. the ladies of the family and of the community came to offer auspicious gifts and prayers. And Advaitacharya sent his wife Sita Thakurani on a beautiful palanquin to offer auspicious pujas and gifts for the baby child. Nobody understood that he is the super soul in everyone's heart. He's the source of Brahman, Paramatma, and all avatars. He's Krishna himself. But they had the same love for him as they had for Krishna. His beauty, his smile, his loving glance was their life and soul. They simply wanted him to be happy. And child Nilambar Chakravarti and did an astrological calculation, and what he saw the greatest of all personalities has come of this infant baby. But he would cry. And we have all heard this story many times, but it's actually so deep, with such a profound message. Infant baby Nimai cried. And there was nothing more disruptive to the hearts of his family than to see him cry. They tried in every way to get him to stop crying, but he cried. And finally, when nothing else worked, they just cried out, Hari Hari. And the little child Nimai, who was born under a neem tree, he glanced upon them and smiled. His pleasure was their life and soul. From before his birth, when he had everyone chanting, to his first day when he was just an infant baby, he was establishing his mission in this world. To induce people to chant the holy names of Krishna. But his mission was not just to get people to chant, but to teach people how to chant. Why were all the ladies gathering around Nimai to chant? For only one purpose: to please him. They weren't doing it because they wanted some benediction. He was crying and they wanted him to be happy. So their ahoitaki apratihata, their ananya bhakti, their focus was exclusively to make Nimai happy. And because they were chanting with such a pure purpose, simply for the pleasure of the Lord, Nimai manifested his pleasure and gave them the ultimate happiness. And it wasn't just that one or two ladies were doing it. So many ladies, a whole kirtan party. They would all come together when Nimai would cry and chant. they were all united for one purpose, the higher purpose of pleasing Nimai. They weren't coming for the kirtan to show each other how good they could sing or how good they could dance. They weren't coming together just to purify their hearts. They were coming together because they all were united in a singular mission. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, to satisfy Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam describes Savai Pung Sang Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakta Dhokshaje Ahoitaki Apratihata Yatma Suprati. The Supreme Dharma is transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord. Such service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. When our service to Krishna is unmotivated and uninterrupted by any type of egoism, by any type of external or internal impediments, when we're striving to make Krishna happy, when Krishna is satisfied, that is the satisfaction of the self. When we're trying to make ourselves happy, that in and of itself limits us. But when Krishna is satisfied, that is watering the root of the tree of life. We become satisfied. So Nimai would cry, and this was a great emergency. They couldn't bear the baby crying. Because generally we interpret crying as either they're in pain, or they're insecure, or they want something. So this was a great urgency. Nimai would cry. They would come together and chant the holy names of the Lord. In this context, there's no false ego. To make Nimai smile. And Nimai smiled. And they would clap. And they would laugh. And they would chant. And even though Nimai was just a tiny little infant child, just a few of his limbs movements appeared like he was just so happy he was dancing. And then when they would stop the kirtan, Nimai cried. They chanted. So happy. And Srila Prabhupada explains in a purport in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in this way, Nimai had the ladies of Navadvip in his family and community chanting the holy names of Krishna 24 hours a day. And Nimai, out of compassion for the suffering of the people of this world, he had come to bring the holy names of Krishna, the Sankirtan movement. He's Karuna Sindhu. We could also meditate how when the Lord was crying, out of compassion for us, he's crying for us to chant the holy names and be happy. Parama Karuna Pahundui Jana Nitai Goda Chandra. He's supremely merciful. After some time, they had the name-giving ceremony. And some of the ladies of the family, they suggested, because he was born under a neem tree, his name should be Nimai. And because 8 daughters had expired after taking birth from Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, this would be their last child. The neem tree is very antiseptic and very auspicious, and traditionally anything inauspicious does not, it can be counteracted by a neem. So let us name him Nimai. Vishwanath Vishwambar, Nilambar Chakravarti, the father of Sachi Devi. He named the child Vishwambar because he had come to nourish the whole world. So the ladies called him Nimai, his official name Vishwambar. And because of his beautiful golden limbs, he was addressed as Gauranga, Gaurhari, Sachinandan, Jagannath Sutta. From his earliest infancy and small babyhood, Nimai was teaching beautiful lessons in the mood of Krishna and the pastimes of Krishna. When Nimai was just crawling in the courtyard of his home, a large serpent came slithering by. Nimai crawled up and grabbed it. Very tiny little baby hands. He grabbed the serpent and stopped the serpent. The serpent coiled up. And Nimai very happily laid on top of the coiled snake. Mothers or fathers, if you saw your little baby laying on this monstrous snake, you would be horrified. And multiply that by many, many times. And that's how the family was horrified. They were crying out, Garuda, Garuda, please save this child from the snake. They were crying out Krishna's names. They were afraid to go anywhere near it because if they disturbed the snake, he may devour the child or bite the child or strangle the child. They were crying. They were frantic, taking shelter of the holy names of Krishna. Nimai was smiling, very blissfully just smiling. It appeared almost like he was sleeping. And as he was smiling upon everyone, the snake realized that he was causing so much distress to the family. The snake uncoiled and started slithering away. Immediately, the family members grabbed little Nimai, but Nimai went chasing after the snake, crawling on his hands and knees, trying to grab it again and bring it back. And they pulled him away and were embracing him. And Nimai kept trying to escape from their embraces and grab the snake. In this beautiful pastime, there are many lessons. One, Krishna is, according to Kunti Devi in the Srimad Bhagavatam, feared by fear personified. When we take shelter of Krishna, we can be freed from fear. Vajahure mana shinandanandana abhay charanara vindare. Govinda Das, the great poet, is praying, my dear mind, please worship Sri Nandanandan, Krishna. Only then will you become abhay, fearless. This material world, there's endless reasons to be fearful. From a material perspective, it's only by the covering of Maya that we're not completely fearful at every moment. Because in reality, so many things could happen to us. We could have some disease, some insect could bite us, a snake could bite us, our loved one could die, there could be an earthquake, there can be nuclear bombs falling from the sky. There's limitless ways that we can suffer and die at any moment. But when we get preoccupied with other positive things, then we don't think about those things so much. But the fear of death, the fear of pain, the fear of old age, the fear of poverty, this world is a fearful place. But fear is afraid of Krishna. Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, time I am. By the power of time, there's imminent fear everywhere because everything is temporary and everything will be destroyed. But Krishna is time. Sharanagati. When we take shelter of Krishna, we could rise above fear. Abhay charanara vindare. In taking shelter of Krishna, we become fearless. But this pastime of Nimai and the snake transcends being transcendental. Does that make sense? When we're transcendental by taking shelter of Krishna, we become transcendental to the material existence and all of its fears. But here, those who have the purest ecstatic love for Nimai, they are so afraid, not for themselves. They have attained such a transcendental position that they transcend transcendence, and they're feeling profound, complete fear for Krishna. This is their love. Higher than being fearless is being afraid for Krishna. When we worship the deities, we're very much thinking of protecting the deities. And we see Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra and their family as Nanda and Yashoda in Vrindavan. They're always doing pujas and prayers and invoking auspiciousness for the protection of Nimai and Krishna. So this wonderful pastime of Nimai and the snake is teaching us the secret of bhakti. When we're liberated, we're fearless. But the concerns, the anxieties, and the fears in loving service to the Lord is infinitely higher on the transcendental level than simply being fearless of material existence. Nimai soon began to walk. And he would cry, and the ladies would gather around him and clap their hands and chant the holy names. Nimai would dance. And he was running around in such a free, spontaneous way. He would run outside the door and go into the street, and he would see people selling bananas or sandesh, and he would beg. He was just a very tiny child, just walking and running, and he'd beg and sing his beauty. They would give their hearts, and along with their hearts, they gave sandesh and bananas. And Nimai would run back, and he would give the sandesh and the bananas to all the ladies chanting his holy names. It's his reciprocation. One day, Sachimata brought Nimai some nice sandesh infused rice. And then she departed to perform her household duties. Nimai went to a secluded place and began to eat dirt. Sachimata saw this and came running. And she chastised her, Nimai. She was so concerned for his health. Why are you eating dirt? Don't you know that by eating dirt you will get diseased? I have given you such nice sweetmeats. Nimai cried and asked his mother, why are you angry with me? What is the difference? Sandesh is simply a transformation of dirt. In fact, the body is just a transformation of dirt. And everything we eat is just a transformation of dirt. So why are you angry upon me? I'm just eating dirt. Sachimata, where have you learned this speculative philosophy? From his very babyhood. Through his mother, he's invoking her to defeat the Mayavad philosophy. She said, yes, everything is coming from dirt. But by eating nice grains and fruits and vegetables, we become nourished, and by eating dirt, we become diseased. So there is a difference. Your philosophy is impractical. Just like if I want to carry water and put it in a clay pot, I could carry the water. But if I just pour the water on dirt, it just soaks in and becomes mud. So there is a difference. When Nimai heard this, he accepted defeat from his mother. He said, why have you not taught me this previously? Now, please, let me drink the milk of your motherly love. And he crawled up onto her lap, and she fed him her own motherly milk. Srila Prabhupada quite extensively explains the Achintya Beda Beda Tattva that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to give to the world. Janmadya Shayataha. Everything is one in the sense that everything is coming from God, the absolute truth. And Krishna is none different than his energies, his spiritual energies, his material energies. And every spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Simultaneously one and distinct. Because Krishna is always the cause. Krishna is always the Shaktiman, the energetic force. And the limitless varieties that exist in the spiritual world are the manifestations by which devotees could exchange love with Krishna, and Krishna could exchange love with his devotees. And in this material world, when we see the transformations of matter or Maya separate from Krishna, that is the illusion. The material world is not an illusion. It is real because it's coming from the ultimate reality. But when we see it disconnected from Krishna, that misconception is the illusion. So in this way, a devotee sees all the things of this world as opportunities to serve. Srila Prabhupada gave such simple example as he's speaking in microphone. If we use this microphone to speak mundane subjects, then it's Maya. If we use it to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we're actually recognizing its inherent spiritual nature. Krishna is the supreme reality within everything and everywhere, but it can only be realized in the mood of engaging it in devotional service. One day, Nimai was playing in the town of Navadvip, and two thieves, they saw gold, silver jewelry that Sachimata had decorated his body with. In their greed and their cruelty, they were thinking, these valuable jewels on such a tiny little child, and he's just wandering alone? We could become very rich. This is certainly the grace of the demigods upon us. So there were so many people all around. They said, "Oh child, we will take you home." And Nimai, "Please take me home." And they put Nimai on their shoulders and started running. And people were watching. This beautiful child is being carried away, and they kept saying, "Child, we're taking you home. We're almost home. We know you're lost." And they kept giving him pieces of sandesh in his hands for him to be eating. And he was smiling, having good ride on the shoulders of these thieves. They were taking him to their own hideout in the forest. And somehow, by Nimai's inconceivable potency of Yogamaya, they came right to Nimai's house. Meanwhile, just previous to this, Sachi, Jagannath Mishra, and family, they were searching for him everywhere. Again, they were in a frantic state of transcendental fear for Nimai. They were crying out, "Vishwambar, Nimai, Gaurhari, where are you?" They were asking everyone. They couldn't find him anywhere. They were crying out, taking shelter of the names of Hari. Suddenly they said to Nimai, "We're at your home now." They were thinking they were at their home. "We're going to put you down." And Nimai said, "Put me down." And they put him down, and Nimai ran right into his father's lap. And as soon as he jumped into his father's lap, the whole family was celebrating. Just as they were in anguish when Nimai was away, when he returned, it only increased the sweetness of the ecstasy of their happiness. They all celebrated, Nimai has returned. Meanwhile, the thieves were looking around. Where are we? They became very worried, very afraid. And immediately they ran away. And after they escaped, they thought, the goddess Durga protected us. They were in a bewildered state and they embraced each other. The family of Nimai, they asked him, where were you and how did you come home? And Nimai said, I was wandering around near Mother Ganga and I got lost. And these two nice men came and brought me home. And the family, let us give the best gift to these. And they brought a beautiful turban to give to them. But the men ran away. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. From the very beginning of his beautiful pastimes in this world, without considering who is qualified or unqualified, giving everybody the opportunity to serve him and to please him. I'll share one more story. One day, a sadhu, who was a great devotee of Bal Gopal, came to the house of Jagannath Mishra. This sadhu was called a pilgrim Brahman. He constantly worshipped his deity of Bal Gopal with pure devotional service. He chanted a 6-syllable Gopal mantra. And hanging from his neck, there was a deity of Gopal and a shalagram shila. And he only ate what was offered to his Bal Gopal. In this way, he wandered from one holy place to another holy place, from village to village. When he came to the home of Jagannath Mishra saw the purity of the heart of this great saint and invited him in, offered him a seat. And he asked, "Tell me, where is your residence?" The Brahmin replied, "That I have no residence. I'm constantly wandering from place to place. Wherever my heart tells me, that is where I go." Jagannath Mishra, he said, "Well, we are very fortunate that you have come to our home today. Please accept our service. And we will prepare the kitchen and you could cook nice rice." The pilgrim said, "I am accustomed to just eating roots and fruits in the forest. Very rarely do I get cooked food or rice. But if you insist, I will cook." So they arranged everything very nicely, and he went into the kitchen and prepared his bhoga. Then he placed it before his deity of Balgopal and Shalagram and meditated on making an offering. Suddenly, he looked up, and Nimai, his beautiful golden form, was standing before him. His hand was filled with the rice, and he pushed it in his mouth, ate it, and smiled. This is right in the middle of the offering. The Brahman never experienced like this before. He cried out, "Haya, Haya!" which has several meanings in the scriptures. In this case, it means, alas, alas, the child has spoiled my offering. Suddenly, the whole family came running, and Jagannath Mishra, he charged at Nimai. He wanted to teach him, this is not right. And Nimai, he looked at Jagannath Mishra and smiled, eating the rice, and then ran away. Jagannath Mishra ran after him. And the Brahmin took Jagannath Mishra by the hand and said, "Do not scold this child. He's just a little boy. He doesn't know what's right or not right. It is not my destiny today to eat cooked rice. Just bring me some fruits and roots." Because he would not eat anything unless it was offered to Balgopal properly. Jagannath Mishra put his head in his hands in great distress, begging, "Please, we will clean the kitchen, cook again." And the whole family gathered around him and begged him, "Please cook again." He said, "If it is not the will of Krishna, no matter what arrangements we make, we cannot eat. Krishna has not put it in my destiny. Just bring me some fruits and roots." But they pleaded with him. So he said, "All right, I will cook again." They cleaned the kitchen. And Sachimata brought Nimai to a neighbor's home. And among other wonderful, pure-hearted ladies, they were all playing with Nimai and joking with him, and he was dancing, and they were singing the holy names, and it was just wonderful. And Jagannath Mishra said, "Make sure you keep him away." Some of the ladies asked Nimai, "Why did you take that Brahman's offerings?" And Nimai said, "He called for me." They did not understand this. They said, "You don't even know who this person is. You don't know where he was born. You don't know what he's done. How could you just take food from him?" Nimai said, "I'm a cowherd boy. What is the harm if I take the food offered by a Brahman?" He's telling them exactly, but they could not understand. They were too immersed in the yoga maya of their loving relationship with Nimai. So they played together, and meanwhile the Brahman cooked and then placed it before Bal Gopal and meditated on offering. Being the super soul in his heart, Nimai understanding that he's calling for me. His laughing, his glancing, his smiling, so much enchanted all the ladies. They didn't notice that he ran away. Suddenly, the Brahman, in the midst of the offering, he opened his eyes, and there was Gauranga eating his rice. He cried out, "Alas, alas, hi, hi. The child has spoiled my offering again." Jagannath Mishra was very, very upset. He came running to Nimai, and Nimai ran away and ran into a room, and Jagannath Mishra was crying out, "You're not going to get away with this. If I don't teach you, who will teach you?" And the whole family was trying to stop him, and the Brahmin stopped Jagannath Mishra. He's just a child. The pilgrim said, "Cannot you see? Krishna does not want me to eat rice today. Just bring me some roots or fruits or anything that I can offer to Gopal." Jagannath Mishra was begging him to cook again. The family was begging him. He said, "There is no use in trying. It is not my destiny." Even if a person has so much food, even if a person is a great king or a prince, if it is not Krishna's will for us to eat, we cannot eat. At that moment, Nimai's elder brother, Vishwarup, appeared. And when this pilgrim saw the divine qualities of Vishwarup, he was mesmerized. He asked, "Whose child is this?" The family said, "He is the son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi." Vishwarup offered his obeisances and said, "We are so fortunate that you have come to bless our home. But we are so unfortunate that you haven't eaten rice. Please cook again." He said, "It's already the middle of the night. It's too late. Bring me some roots or fruits. It is Krishna's desire. That's what I eat all the time." Vishwarup said, "It is the nature of a great personality to be happy when others are happy and distressed when others are distressed. If you cook again, my whole family will be very happy, and you will liberate us from all distress." And then Vishwarup fell at his feet, clasped his lotus feet, and was begging, "Please cook again." And the whole family gathered around. The pilgrim said, "All right, I will cook again." They cleaned the whole kitchen and brought all the ingredients. Meanwhile, Nimai was in a room, and they closed the door and locked the door. Jagannath Mishra and others were just outside the door guarding to make sure Nimai could not get out. And it's the middle of the night. The ladies called out from in the room that was all locked up that he's fast asleep. The Brahman cooked. And in meditation, he made his offering. By the will of Gauranga, everyone in the house fell asleep. Vrindavan Das Thakur describes Nidra Devi came, the goddess of sleep. As he was making the offering, he looked up, and there was the most supremely beautiful, charming, golden form of Nimai, chewing on his rice with his hand to his mouth, smiling with a loving glance upon the Brahman. He cried out very loudly, but everyone was sleeping. Nimai spoke to him. He said, "What is my fault? You are calling for me to come and eat, and I'm coming to eat." You are chanting a mantra, my mantra, to make this offering, and I'm coming to accept. And then Nimai manifested an 8-armed form. Four of his hands were holding the conch shell, the lotus flower, the Sudarshan chakra, and a club. One of his hands was holding a pot of butter, and the other hand was eating the butter. And 2 of his hands were playing upon a flute. When the Brahmin saw this, behind this beautiful form of Krishna, he saw kadamba trees filled with kadamba flowers. So many birds singing sweet songs. He saw Surabhi cows, gopis, gopas. Everything he meditated upon in his pure devotional service to Bal Gopal, now he was seeing with his eyes. He fell unconscious in ecstasy. And Nimai touched him with his hand and brought him back to consciousness. His hairs were standing on end. Tears were flooding his eyes like the river Ganga. He was calling out loudly, "Jai Bal Gopal, Jai Gopal." And then he would fall unconscious again. Then he would come back to consciousness and see the beautiful form of the Lord. And Nimai spoke to him. He said, "Previously, in a past birth, you came to Gokul. And you came, just like now, as a pilgrim to the house of Nanda Maharaj. And you cooked food. And in my form of Gopal, I ate the food just like I did now. And I manifested the same form to you. You are my eternal servant. And because you called my name with pure love and devotion, I've come to accept the offerings of your love. Do not tell anyone what you have seen. I am your beloved Gopal. I have appeared in this incarnation to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement of the chanting of the holy names. I have come to preach the glories of the chanting of Krishna's holy names throughout the whole world. And through the chanting of the holy names, I will spread prema, pure devotional service, love of God, throughout the world. And if you stay in Navadvip, you will see these miracles. But do not tell anyone what you have seen. And then Gopal manifested his little child form again and ran back into the room and went to sleep. What he had seen, the ultimate perfection of all his desires. In great ecstasy, now that same rice that previously he was thought was spoiled, he was crying, he was dancing, he was rubbing the rice all over his body. He was eating it. He was screaming out, Jai Bal Gopal. And suddenly all the family members woke up and came running to the scene. And he became very composed and washed his body and sat down and very peacefully began to eat. And he said, I made offering. In his heart of heart, he wanted to tell them, you are supremely fortunate. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is living in your home, and you don't even know it. If you understand this, your life will be perfect. He wanted to tell everyone, but it would displease the Lord if he told. So he didn't say anything. He simply ate the prasad. And that pilgrim Brahman, he never left Navadvip. He stayed there. And he would go house to beg, which was his dharma. But he would always come back to watch the beautiful pastimes of Nimai. And while nobody else knew he was, even the devotees, They didn't recognize him as their Krishna. He knew, but he kept it a secret. And he was there when later on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya and did inaugurate the Harinam Sankirtan movement. Lord Gauranga told us, Brahman, that I have come to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement and spread it throughout the world, and give houses everywhere the opportunity for love for Krishna. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in his purport to these verses, he describes, one may ask, Lord Chaitanya said he has come to spread the Harinam Sankirtan movement throughout the entire world. Spread love of Krishna everywhere. One may ask, Lord Chaitanya, he spread it in Navadvip. And after he took sannyas, he toured India. But what about the rest of the world? And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that when Lord Chaitanya says that he will spread it throughout the world, he is saying he will spread it through his devotee. In 1922, that's 102 years ago, at their first meeting, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada told our Srila Prabhupada, you are an intelligent young man. Bring the teachings and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya to the whole world in the English language. We can get this appreciation that in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally glorifying Srila Prabhupada as his representative to fulfill his mission. Lord Chaitanya has given us Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada is giving us Lord Chaitanya. It is not something ordinary. It is extraordinary. In the 500 years since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the Pancha Tattva in Mayapur Dham, the great acharyas of our Gaudiya Sampradaya, eternal loving servants from the spiritual world, were manifesting and expounding the highest principles of unalloyed, pure loving devotional service, revealing the highest, most intimate rasas of prema through the congregational chanting of the holy names. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu's prediction and their intimate, most compassionate will, it was all, in many ways, in preparation for Srila Prabhupada to bring that mercy to all of us. And how he did it, from Vrindavan at the age of 69, after preparing himself for practically his whole life, 43 years after he received the instruction, he went to Mumbai, in those days Bombay, and he begged. He begged Sumati Maharaj, please give me a ticket on a cargo ship so I can fulfill the order of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. You are so old, and America is so cold. You will die. Nobody will listen to you. Just stay here. You could have classes. I will arrange everything. She even helped him to publish his Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. But he would not eat. He would not leave until she gave him ticket. Such a risk. He took train from Mumbai to Vrindavan, then took a train to Calcutta, and then he came to Mayapur town to beg for the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Yoga Pit and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada at his Samadhi Mandir at the Chaitanya Mat. And then he went to Shantipur town and prayed for the mercy of Sri Advaitacharya, whose compassion brought Lord Chaitanya to this world to fulfill this impossible mission. And on Friday the 13th, August 13th, Srila Prabhupada boarded the Jaladuta. "38 days. And from that simple beginning at Butler, Pennsylvania, for the first time in history, Butler's actually world famous now. Up until then, except the people of Butler, I don't think anybody knew what Butler was except devotees of Srila Prabhupada. Because that's where he lived for the first month, at a little YMCA hotel. From that humble beginning, he traveled around the world 12 times. In his manifested pastimes, published more Vedic literature than ever in the history of creation. Established over 100 temples, thousands of devotees. And he would plead to all his followers to assist him in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his Guru Maharaj. And in the early 70s, when he just got this little land in Sri Mayapur Dham, Jananivas Prabhu was here, and Chowpatty Swami Maharaj was here, and we have Her Grace Malati Devi is with us now. She was here with Srila Prabhupada at that time, cooking for him, serving him. And Srila Prabhupada was so grateful. And even though there was just, Srila Prabhupada was so eager. He was having devotees from all over the world to send money so he could build a guest house to invite devotees to come to Mayapur. This is actually really incredible. So hard to get to. So primitive. Just little pump wells for water. Going to Ganga. The early devotees here, they like to talk about all the troubles, gundas, snakes, but they were totally happy. Even in the most austere, poverty-stricken, difficult conditions, they were happy. There was only a few of them. Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj came, he said, I believe 1978, he said there were 30 devotees here at that time. During Srila Prabhupada's time, it was just a handful. And sometimes they were being attacked by gangs and mobs. It was dangerous. But the devotees were happy. Pancharatna Prabhu, I believe you were here at that time too. They were happy because they understood how important this is to Srila Prabhupada. And yes, Rameshwar Prabhu is here now. He was sending money from BBT. And they built a little guest house. And Srila Prabhupada actually invited devotees from the entire world to come to Mayapur for Festival of Gaur Purnima. That is our only qualification for being here today, or ever. When we study that very heart of the compassion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his desire, his promise, his prediction, we can get some glimpse of appreciation of the unique good fortune that we all have to have the shelter of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And how exalted are those devotees who are giving their lives to try to assist. So with this meditation, let us have kirtan. And in just a few minutes, His Holiness Chowpatty Maharaj will be coming, and we will have the good fortune of welcoming him and hearing his transcendental words. Thank you very much.